Okay, next case. He wants to talk. I have a hypothetical question I want to ask you, and if you have the time to answer it. I'll make time to listen. If a society were to deem one particular object to be bad, such as a painting or a statue for an example, does that make the object bad? In other words, if society says something is so, does that make it so without further question? Why? I'm an outcast. I can never return home to the society in which I was raised. This is my society now, and I'm trying to discover my place in it. Much of what I see in Tamriel seems to be at odds with what I have experienced in the past. And this leaves me quite confused as I struggle to determine what aspects of the society I knew and the society I live in now are indeed right. In other words, the society I grew up in told me something is wrong, and the society tells me it is right. Which do I believe? Let's see. Be an integral part. Yay! Integral, whatever. I suppose if it were to be right in this society, I would have blah 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 blah. Boy. I mean, Tim UDF here for more ruined tales. I don't know. I'm still kind of waiting for it to crash, but it might not. And yet I wonder, not knowing how I was raised through the circumstances under which I grew up, how valid is your opinion on this topic? How can I put you in a position to offer a more educated, wizened viewpoint? I need to know more about your past. You need to know more about my past if you were to help me? Yes, I guess that makes sense. I confess. Ooh, I don't want to tell you everything. As the poet says, ignorance is bliss, and the less you know, the less danger you will be in. But I will say as much as I can without putting you at risk. Settle in, my friend, and I will tell it. Damn it. I was raised in a very small Argonian sect that is unknown to most people and frowned upon by those who do know of us. Even to our own race, we are essentially outcasts. Yet by banding together like sheep, none would stand up to us. From a very young age, I was trained to take life without question. I was taught that death is a part of life. I was trained to revel in blood. To what end, Yugi boy? So that when we reached maturity, we could go forth into Tamriel and put our skills to good use in service of our sect. Then when the time came, I wished to do no such thing. I wanted to be free to make my own choices, and so I ran from my masters and from my past. Damn it! And so I found you. Yay! Where does society fit into this? Considering your earlier answer, let me turn my initial question on its side. My society calls me a coward and a traitor. Does that make me so? I asked you before if my actions within my society, which endorses all concepts of evil and creates laws to support them, were justified. You gave me your answer, and from that I've come to realize this. Here in Imperial City, close enough, the laws work against creatures of my nature and thus are at odds with the society in which I was raised. Thus, if society calls me a traitor, could perhaps your society call me a hero one day, simply for opposing the evil ways of my sect? Sure, look at Kajido! Or does one become a hero for sticking to the foundations through which one is raised, regardless of present environment? Let's see. A hero stands up for his beliefs. So, should I make the choice to oppose a society, any society, those that appreciate the choice I made will see me? Yeah, I completely read that incorrectly. Perhaps then, by standing against the sect I was raised in, because I see what they do as being wrong, I have already earned the mantle of hero. Well, I can always hope, I suppose. Your opinion on the matter's a bit idealistic, but I guess I'm hardly one to complain about that, wouldn't you say? We shall speak again, Anon. Thank you, my friend. Yay! I'm actually going to override my save now. Because what it's time to do is... they're not doing anything interesting on TV. It's time for another fast travel test. The Legend of Zelda Parallel Travel. Anyway. So let's see, where do I want to go? I want to go to Cheydinhal. Or, no I don't. Yeah, I do. Let's go to Castle Cheydinhal and see if it freaking loads. Come on. Come on, overcoming adversity. Let's go, overcoming adversity. More Family Guy references. And I think it's finally working. I don't know why it wasn't before. I mean, it doesn't make sense that going down that one path would cause it to crash. So what the hell are the limitations here? What can't I do? Put tears back on. The Thorn estate must die. No, not really. Let's jump around. I'm probably just going to watch TV for the next 8 minutes or so while the next dialogue prompt comes on. Want to see me comment on what I'm watching? No, you don't. Alright. Oh, what the hell, I'll go ahead and do that. I'll leave it here, and I'll come back when the next dialogue prompt is ready. Almost forgot to hit record. Anyway, you performed many... Yeah. When you die, and let's face it, sooner or later you will, you'll be remembered throughout history for your actions. The same cannot be said for me. When I die, a few people will recall my name, and they may or may not pass my story on to their children, and their children's children, and their children's children's uncle. Now, sooner or later I will be forgotten in the minds of Tamriel's populace, and then cease to exist within history's something. But you, my friend, you will live forever. I'm gonna sip of my water. Contrary to what I said, I actually went outside to play some football with my brother. Anyway. Immortalized. Immortality and greatness. Nah. What do you think? Let's see. History doesn't choose its heroes. I suppose that the most well-remembered heroes are... Why did I leave the TV up? Anyway, are those who could be called accidental heroes. The peasant, damn it boy, that defeats a demonic horde, the tavern whore that unveils a grand conspiracy to kill the king, the haunted Argonian battle mage that overcomes the adversity of his unbreaking to bring forth a new age of... Oh, nothing. He trails off, glancing at you from the corner of his eyes in a decidedly sheepish manner. Oh, boy. Where is this going? He wants to be the hero! I have been thinking of how a hero such as yourself is remembered throughout history. How your memory lives on even though you don't. Perhaps I am faced with my own mortality, and even though I know I'll eventually die, I want to find some way to keep my memory alive. Through actions, could I one day be an integral part of history? Could I live on forever in the hearts of Tamriel's citizens? Can I shape Tamriel's future? As an accidental typo hero, one whose diverse upbringing ultimately serves to contrast a final character. Or perhaps it's a chapter, I didn't really catch it. The one who saves the day like you have, time and bloody time again. Oh, he's British? Now I have to do that? No, I'm not doing that. If you try, you will succeed. Perhaps. LOL. No, okay. I don't know. Oh, hell. Though if Cleon, the Butcher of Armadale, is any example to learn from, it would seem that trying to be a hero is precisely the wrong thing to do. After all, he went to great lengths to carve his name into the pages of history. He became a legend and an infamy of being KO'd by the most simple of enemies. In the end, his enemies sought to punish him for his evil and his hubris, and blotted his name from the history books, and then knocked him unconscious for 200 years. Any reputation he might have had was gone, despite the vast efforts to the contrary. Do you know what I see, my friend? I see a choice. Do you really believe that? For a fraction of a second, he puffs out his chest and attempts to set his face into a stern expression. Yet soon, the facade fades as Rue's shoulders slump in resignation. I don't know, not really, not yet at least. I believe that the statement is true, as good and evil are only means to an end when it comes to carving out your place in history. But whether I am capable of following that philosophy, I simply don't know. At the end of the day, should fate choose to give you the chance to become an accidental hero, all you can do is heed the call. And let your morals decide whether it is good, evil, or shades of gray that dictate whether you earn your place in renown. Or in infamy. Let's get moving. I have a sudden desire for a spot of exercise. That's definitely what we're not going to do. Oh, until the next spot, I'm going to go do something. Wait, how long has this episode been going? Oh, quite a while. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Did I stop the timer? I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Crap, I'll have to go over the footage later and decide. Whatever. See you later, everyone. If this is an episode length. Otherwise, I'll see you in a bit. Whatever. More Ruined Tales Tale.